Good morning, everyone, and welcome to English 102 Online this winter quarter 2025. My name is Amber Lemire. I'm very excited to be your instructor this quarter and your editor-in-chief, but more on that in a little bit. You are on the homepage right now if you're viewing this or you accessed this weekly update from the calendar in Canvas. Either one is fine. There are a lot of ways to get in and out of this course and find what you need, but these weekly updates are kind of like a home base and a chance for you to get centered and make sure that you know what's going on throughout the quarter as we learn in this virtual environment away from each other. So make sure, first of all, that you know how to find this and that you build it into your rhythm for the quarter. Every Monday before noon or Tuesday if there's a holiday, I will most likely share a video, but always share a weekly update. The weekly update will also include a what's the workflow for this week, bullets of what needs to be done, links to where to do those things, the deadlines for when they're due. So if you're ever trying to figure out what is going on, all you need to do is find this weekly update page. The most recent weekly update will show up at the top. It's like a social media stream where that update just stacks on top. Here's just a tiny bit about me before we get started. You'll get to read more about me in the journalist bio that you're going to do this week because I've created one as well. But like I said, I'm Amber. You can call me Amber. This is probably the class. No, it is. This is the class that inspired me to want to be a writing teacher at the college level. I loved taking this class as a student. I loved researching, learning new things. When I became a faculty member, I thought that this was the most exciting class to get to teach. Now I also get to teach classes like the Arts Magazine and Literature for Children, and I've really found a love and a passion for lots of different things, but this is my first love. And I still maintain those feelings because something about this class, you've probably heard little rumors that in English 102 you have to write a really long paper. I love that on kind of in a typical English 102 class, I get a lot of writers who are a little nervous about that task, but by the end, there's this sense of pride in what those writers have accomplished. That's the first thing. That is such an enjoyable experience to work for 10 weeks with so many different writers coming from different backgrounds, to see people grow into confidence and that sense of self-pride in their work. So that is my first and foremost favorite thing about teaching this class, and it ultimately drives my goal for the quarter. My goal is that by the end of the quarter, you will be proud of what you've done, maybe even surprised by what you've done. The other thing that I love about this course and this environment is how over time, writers in this atmosphere really start to get excited about reading what other people are doing because of how we go about picking our topics. Again, you'll learn more about that later, but it's really neat to see that what someone else is writing about is so interesting to you that you might share it with your family or your friends outside of school and outside of these contexts. And again, that's one of my primary goals, is that I would guide you and encourage you to choose the kinds of topics and tasks that might create that kind of experience for all of us. What else do you need to know about me? I've been teaching at the college level for over 11 years. I went to school here. I've been on this campus since I was 4 years old. My dad used to be a teacher at LCC before he passed away. And so that said, I've gone through highs and lows, and I really try to let those things in my life shape the kind of supportive, compassionate, flexible faculty member that I try to be. I try to be really creative and present and individualized, really getting to know you guys and trying to find out how I can be just the best guide and support for you. Something that I like to sign off with in my messages to students is, I'm rooting for you. And that's where I'm coming from. That is what makes this job so special, is getting to know individual people and their stories, things that they're overcoming, getting to watch you overcome. So we don't know what this quarter holds for any of us. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what we're going to go through. And if we can create a learning community where everyone is rooting for each other, I think that we'll see more of us succeed, and we'll feel a sense of, just inspiration that we were engaged with other humans in doing these learning activities and getting through it together. And I really have this welling excitement for how we're going to feel at the end of these 10/11 weeks together. All right, let's get into it. The nitty-gritty is in the syllabus below. So that's your first bullet, is after you've watched this video, review the syllabus, click here, reach out if you have any questions. The other thing I always recommend to learners who are working online is take a house tour. Imagine this is a vacation home that you're going to be staying at for the next 11 weeks. Where's the bathroom, the kitchen, how are things designed and set up, what's the feel? Just kind of click around a little bit. You'll see on the left-hand menu that home is where we are right now. The syllabus, projects, and textbook page is an actual website I've created for the class where all of the assignment instructions are going to be posted. And right now you'll have access there for the syllabus, the journalist bios, and the pitches that are coming into next week. So we'll talk about that right now. I'm going to have you guys spend some time just getting into the course, but by Thursday night, by midnight-ish, I would love to have you posting your own journalist bios. Click below for instructions on how to do that. One of the kind of peculiar things is that I have you write in the third person. It's just a fun exercise to get you writing potentially in a different point of view than you're used to. But draft in first person. My name is Amber. I've been teaching for over 11 years. I love my job. I have a son named Hilo, I have a cat named Vespa, and a husband named Eric, and we live in Longview. And then change it to the third person as you keep writing. After you put that out there and kind of introduce yourself to the group, I will have you guys reply to each other by the end of the weekend. So by Sunday, by midnight-ish, that's a chance for you to make connections, get to know one another, help each other feel less alone in the pixelized environment that we're working in. Remind everyone that we are all human in here, really humanize our space. And then I'm giving you really some room and some space to take some advanced looks at the pitches project, and that's the third bullet below. Pitches are not due until next Thursday, but because you spend the entirety of English 102 really working on one project, I want you to have advance notice of developing those pitches and ideas for the whole quarter. I think as soon as you're done with your bios, dive into the Pitches project. Figure out why this class in Canvas is called English 102 Exchangers. And you'll see on the Pitches page that you are now a journalist. You are now a part of Exchangers Magazine. What is Exchangers Magazine? What is our mission? Who is our audience? What kinds of things do we write and publish? And that gives you a chance to get those creative juices flowing. And if you're feeling like creative is scary, just to get your curiosity flowing, what is the kind of stuff that you actually care about, want to know about? And we'll use that as a starting place. But Exchangers publishes underdog, fresh, unique topics that readers are not finding in other kinds of publications. So that's a little bit of a challenge for you guys, a little bit of a test to see if we can go out there and find those kinds of ideas and pitches to put forth to the group. And that's really what you guys need to know, I think, as we get started. I can give you just a little bit more about due dates and deadlines and stuff like that, and then I'll sign off and let you get started and reach out if you have any questions. So, deadlines in this class are going to be on either Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Sundays. That creates a rhythm. Does your life always fit into that? No, so be thinking ahead about how you can manage that kind of rhythm. And if something comes up, reach out. Let me know. You'll see in the syllabus some stuff about, I say midnight-ish. That's because I'm not checking timestamps. If it's there when I look for it, you're going to get credit for it. What if it's not there? I really want you to reach out and let me know what your plan is for catching up, typically within a week's time. If a week isn't reasonable because of whatever's happening outside of school, then reach out and explain to me what your plan is. I just want to know that you have one so that I can understand the difference, especially in an online environment, between someone who's still working on the class and someone who's actually falling away from the class. Again, that's so that I can know how to respond, how to support you, how to make sure that you know what your options and resources are. But ultimately, I'm going to be flexible with you. I try to create as many opportunities as possible for you to succeed. And for the first part of the course, for almost 40 some percent of the 100% or 100 points of the work that we're going to be doing, we are going to have a grading system where if you do it, you're going to earn it. So our journalist bios, our replies, our pitches, everything's going to be worth just a point or 0.5. And if it's there, you get it. And if there's some reason why I'm not able to give you the point, if something's missing, I'm going to reach out and say, hey, can you make this adjustment? And when you do, I'll give you the point. So do equals earn for the very first half of this course and quarter. That way we can really just build our confidence, build up some successes, have some wins, focus on learning, focus on curiosity and creativity, and really just get to know each other, get to know ourselves and what we're interested in creating as a team at Exchangers Magazine this season. Do you guys have any questions for me before you dive into the bullets below? If you do, you can leave a comment on this actual post at the very bottom. Those are anonymous comments. It'd be best if they're directed at the whole group if you post them there because they'll be public. What if you have a private question that you want to share or reach out to me about? Email me at alamir@lowercolumbia.edu or click on the mailbox button to the left-hand menu in Canvas and send me a direct message that way. I'm happy to respond and correspond with you guys this first week as we get off to a great start. And lastly, it would be great if you could click on the heart below. Not like social media where I'm collecting likes, but more like in this online environment where I'm communicating with you. That's a way that you can immediately communicate back and say, got it. Listened to the update. I'm on task. And there is a beating heart out there working on this course. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great first week in all of your classes. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of you again and getting to know those of you who are new to me. And I'll talk to you soon.